So I think I have like the best community ever because I gave y'all till the 31st to try to hit 15,000 subs, and y'all did it in 2 days. That is the most unbelievable thing that like I've ever seen on this channel. Like, just absolutely crazy stuff from y'all guys. So yeah, thank you very, very much. 2 Dazzler passes confirmed. That is happening January 1st. More details then. And to reward y'all for like the crazy stat line of getting it in 2 days, every 1,000 subs from now until January 31st, I'll add 1 Dazzler Pass and do a giveaway on February 1st. So yeah, let's keep the momentum going. It's been like at an all-time high, to be honest, and it's thanks to y'all, but also thanks to Sentry a little bit, because yeah, he seems to be a hot topic that just keeps on getting hotter. But I think this discovery is genuinely one of the craziest things ever, because when you like see the videos of Sentry that I've posted so far, I didn't have this one synergy, and he was soloing 11 Necropolis fights on a single path, right? Like, he was doing crazy things. This champion is crazy. Like, when he's ramped up, he's one of the craziest things in this game, to be honest, right? However, there is a synergy, a Mr. Fantastic synergy, where whenever you inflict a debuff, you inflict a power sting as well. Now, Sentry, when he's ramped up, and like just in general, every single hit he does, no matter what, inflicts a debuff if you do it right. For example, in his base state, whenever you just hit the opponent, you inflict an exhaustion, which is a debuff to count towards the power stings. In his medium attack phase, if you do a medium or light attack, you inflict a debuff, which means you get a power sting. In the heavy attack phase, doing one heavy attack inflicts 4 debuffs. So like, one single heavy attack and you have the max stacks of power stings. And here's the craziest part: if you do an attack that has increased attack rating, the power stings will get that increased attack rating as well. So for example, in the heavy attack state, once I drop a heavy attack and Sunspot's next action is a special attack, we take that attack rating and apply it to the power stings. So we're doing like 77,000 power stings, and for reference, like when Sentry crits, it's about like 68,000 damage. So every single time he launches a special attack, Sunspot that is, it's basically like a bonus heavy attack crit, which is massive, right? Because Sentry has like one of the hardest hitting heavy attacks in the game, like straight up. So yeah, it is a pretty big difference, and like it is about 1% of Sunspot's health every single time he drops a special attack. So yeah, it is genuinely massive, and you'll notice like on the fight stats as well, it's about like 20 to 25% of his main damage source. So that's a pretty big upgrade for Sentry, 1,000%, and it is just a very, very nice damage bonus. And I think the most surprising thing is, it's like the fact that he has access to this, right? Because, you know, he's one of the strongest damage dealers in the game at base whenever he's ramped up, but giving him like extra power sting damage and it like equaling 20 to 25% of his main damage source, that's absurd. You take this like broken champion in long fights and you make him even more broken. And the craziest part is, the Mr. Fantastic synergy is with Sentry. So like, you don't have to bring Mr. F plus 1 more, you just bring Mr. F and it unlocks the power sting synergy. So yeah, it is a bit absurd for sure, and like if you're not critting that much, it doesn't matter because the power stings will make up for the damage. So yeah, this discovery wasn't even by me, it was by someone in the OMCOC Discord. It was actually, his name is Tilapia, I'm pretty sure. Amazing name, by the way, great fish, 10 out of 10 fish. And they apparently are mad geniuses too, because yeah, this is a crazy good discovery, and it's just a game changer for Sentry for sure. Like, I don't think that Mr. F is in the I don't think he's in the, what is it, the 10-year challenge, but just like for any Necropolis runs for like players that don't have one done yet, I think Sentry plus Mr. F is a crazy good option. And I think that with this synergy, I think that Sentry can definitely do Hercules a lot better than like before. So that's 12 out of 14 fights on that Sauron / APOC path. So yeah, man, this is just like unbelievable. When Tilapia was talking about it, I was like, yo, let me try this out, because I might be an actual Muppet if I posted an 11 solo video and didn't even do it with that synergy. First of all, that should show you that like Sentry is crazy at base, right? He is a crazy champion just like by himself, but he can get even crazier. Like the fact that those 11 solos were just like the tip of the iceberg. That's unreal. That's actually unreal. So yeah, one more heavy attack crit, and there you go. That was a 4-minute Necropolis fight. 4 minutes. And Power Sting was like 20% plus of the damage. That is so crazy, man. Now we have Diablo here, and we even have Silver Centurion in this fight. That is one of the hardest Necropolis fights in the game. People say it is the hardest one straight up, and Sentry has a solo of it. So yeah, this guy, he can do a lot, trust me. I even soloed Squirrel Girl when I was recording this, but I just didn't put it in this video because it was a bit of a long one, right? You know, his damage output is very good. However, Squirrel Girl purifies like debuffs all the time, like every 20 seconds. So we had to restart our ramp up every single time. So like that was a bit annoying for sure, but he was still able to solo it somehow. So yeah. People are like, let's see him on the right side. This is him on the right side, man. I haven't done the second half of the right side, but I'm pretty sure like he can do Shocker, Null. Who else is on that path? Like Spider-Man Supreme, Sandman. He could probably do them pretty well. But yeah, now we have this Diablo fight. It's honestly pretty straightforward. Just have to get like the potions and then brew them, and then you're kind of chilling. So yeah, pretty easy fight for Sentry. Nothing too crazy, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he redropped the SP1 to get into the exhaustion phase, and once we do that, we'll be fully built up, and so we can just start doing some extra damage. And honestly, I feel like I played this fight kind of wrong. I think I should have stayed in the medium attack phase, just because like brewing the potions, it's all about doing medium and light attacks. So I feel like it was better to like stay in that mode, but I just chose to go for the heavy attack phase, which, yeah, it might have cost me like a minute or so, I assume, but the fight time for this, I'll just spoil it, is 5 minutes still. 5 minutes for a Necropolis fight is actually crazy. Like, that is genuinely really, really strong. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter. And, like, probably without Synergy, I want to say it'd be like 6 minutes, which is still very good, don't get me wrong, but increasing like one of the best fight times in the game for Necropolis by like a minute, that's like very solid. It's very, very good stuff. And yeah, I'm a bit like appalled that this man can increase his damage output. And there probably is like another synergy that can increase his damage. Like for example, the Aegon synergy. I haven't even done a single fight in Necropolis with that synergy yet, so I could like do it one more time. I could go back and see like what the fight time difference is, because I think it's plus 1,000 crit damage and critical rating. Like once you're fully okay. Actually, when I think about that, why have I not done that yet, bro? That's crazy strong. Okay. This video is going to still be posted, but I think next video might be just like another Sentry one, because like thinking about that right now, that's actually absurd, man. Like that much damage output is like actually crazy. So yeah, I'm like kind of wow. Like the more I think about it, that 11 solo run has been absurd. Like that is genuinely one of the craziest things I've ever done, because that was just like him at his minimum, right? Like this is like kind of building up to the top, but this also isn't even the top of his damage output. Like it can be even faster. It might not be too much faster with the Aegon synergy, but still though, like that can be a bit of a game changer. Man, this champion, the fact that I haven't even like touched the surface with this guy, that has me hyped. And I don't know if it has you hyped, but I think it should have you hyped, because yeah, man, this guy, you know, I can't believe I was wrong about this champion. When I first saw him and I first saw the gameplay, I was like, man, this is kind of not looking too good for Sentry. But after playing him, I'm like, okay, this guy is genuinely one of the craziest things I've played ever in this game. Like, it's just silly. This champion is obviously just a silly character. And honestly, I feel a bit bad because I am not really commentating on this fight, but you know, it's just like, I'm used to this, man. We're all used to like Sentry just destroying in the Necropolis. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty it's a good fight for him for sure. Like he is very, very good for this Diablo, but then again, it's just like, you know, he's done this. He always does this, right? It's just Sentry things. Like those 68,000 crits, that's just Sentry, man. I said that like I think 10 times in the last video, which, okay, to be fair, like spare me. It was a 1 hour and 14-minute video, and I did commentary the whole time. Like, I'm sorry, I haven't done that in so long. So I was I was definitely challenged there, but we got it done, and now we're doing this one, which is honestly just as cool because it's showcasing Sentry, and he's even stronger than before. And it reminds me of like Escanor. You know, like Escanor, whenever he is building up to like the sunrise, or like when the sun's about to be like at its brightest, he just gets stronger and stronger, and like once it's like actually, I think it's like noon, he's like at his strongest. It's like Sentry like right now, because we started off with, you know, just like him by himself, or like him with minimal synergies, and then now it's him with like this Mr. Fantastic synergy, and then next will be him with the Aegon synergy, and it's like he's just getting stronger and stronger, and then we're gonna approach like him at his strongest, and that's gonna be like terrifying. That's gonna be genuinely like crazy stuff, man. I'm gonna try for an under 3-minute Necropolis solo with like full synergies. I think he can do it. I'm pretty sure he can do it just fine. But now we have one of the most challenging fights, if not the most challenging fight in the Necropolis. We have Silver Centurion. This is a very annoying fight that requires not only strategy but the right amount of damage output, because like some characters can power control him, and like that's a very good option for this fight, but some of those power controllers can't solo it because they just don't have the damage output. But this is the Sentry approach, and by that I mean just literally out damage him. Just like do as much damage as you can before he becomes too annoying. And honestly, the strat works very, very well because we out damage him before he becomes super annoying. So yeah, how this guy works is whenever he is locked on, his special attacks cost 100% less power, which is very, very annoying. It is one of the worst nodes in the Necropolis by a mile, man. It's really frustrating. It's like really, really annoying. But yeah, if you just like have the right amount of damage output, you can deal with him pretty well, but other champions will struggle for sure because he just is so annoying with that special attack too, because he just spams it, and he will drop it when he's like far away from you. Like he will still drop the SP2. Like right there, he drops it. He was so far from me and he still dropped the SP2. It is actually crazy stuff. But yeah, here we dropped the heavy attack just to refresh our debuffs, and now we're back into that lock-on phase, which is just super annoying to deal with. There I dropped the SP1, we change our phases, and yeah, it's looking pretty good for us so far. There I dropped the heavy attack to push him away, and pushing him away actually does make the lock-on go away very quickly. So that is the strategy for this fight. You want to bait out the SP1, let the SP1 trigger the lock-on phase, and once you do that, just like try to play like very passively and get him away from you, and then once you do that, you are pretty much chilling. So yeah, it's a pretty straightforward fight once you get the rhythm. The issue is it is very, very easy to lose that rhythm, and then things just like hit the ceiling, man. It is a very hard fight to like get back into the loop of. So yeah, it's annoying for that reason. And plus the block damage, if you play this fight wrong, will just eat you up. Like right there, that was a mistake on my end. Whenever he drops the SP1, he refreshes lock on, so you cannot let him do that. That is very, very bad. And like right there, I mess up as well because he dropped the SP2 while in lock on, which pauses it again, and then that timer pauses it one more time. So yeah, this lock on was super long and it was very frustrating. But now we're back into like the phase where his special attacks do cost power, thankfully, and now things should be looking pretty good for us. But yeah, like that was scary because if I like didn't recover that, it would have been just like game over straight up. He'd just be spamming special attacks, and yeah, it just do like so much damage into my block. But speaking of damage output, yeah, those 58,000 crits are nice, but that 74,000 power sting is also very, very nice, man. Like that is very good damage from the power stings, and they play a part in this fight especially because the power stings, they are very helpful whenever he is in that phase where he just starts spamming specials, especially if I can get like a heavy attack off to get the power stings going again. So yeah, he drops special attacks a lot in this fight, and like almost always you'll have a power sting ready for like him to take the damage. So yeah, it's a very good fight with this synergy especially, and I feel like without this synergy, I do not think he can take the fight like that well anyway. You probably could solo it just because it's Sentry, so like you can just like out damage him, but you really want to have this as like a nice bonus damage and a pretty good safety net for whenever you're just not critting, because if you don't crit, like the armor up that Silver Centurion has is very noticeable, so like you won't do as much damage, like honestly anywhere near as much damage. So yeah, it's important to have like bonus sources of damage output in this fight especially, and that's why the power stings are just so helpful for sure. So yeah, the fight is honestly a pretty good one for Sentry. I was like not expecting this. I was like, can Sentry even solo this fight? Of course I do have some boost active, which does help source, like it helps as a source of damage output too, but then again, like boosts aren't even that crazy for Sentry. They do help obviously, right? Like boosts are helpful for any champion, but I think Sentry's like base damage output is just already pretty cracked already. So yeah, man, I don't know, this guy is just wild. There he drops CSP2 while he's out of lock on, so it did cost the full 2 bars of power, which is perfect. And yeah, the rhythm is honestly looking very, very good for us. Here he's about to enter lock on, but that was honestly very clutch because he dropped that SP1 when he was out of lock on, so that cost the full 1 bars of power, so like that is perfect. Here he drops the SP1 while lock on is active, so that does cost 0 power, which is very scary. And now we have to just play passive, hope that he doesn't throw the special attack when he's like 2 miles away from me. So yeah, like that's just the worst case scenario, and it does happen often, to be honest, because that's just like how this Silver Centurion was, I guess, like programmed. I don't know, like I don't know the like the you know, the like the actual information, but man, it feels like he just drops that SP2 whenever he is just like at 2 bars of power. Like he will just drop it when he's like literally the farthest away from the map. It's pretty hilarious, but it's also very frustrating. But yeah, now we have the like closing parts of this fight. We're getting those crits, which is very helpful, and it should be like more than enough to close out this fight. Like after a couple more heavy attacks and some more power sting detonations, like right there, beautiful, 1% just gone, and that is massive for a Necropolis fight. And then we drop the heavy attack again. There the lock on is ready, so like we have to just play with the lock on phase again, which is super fun and totally not frustrating. And right there, what did I tell you? So far from me, drops it. Like, come on, man, that's so annoying. Oh, like this fight is something else, truly. There we go back in though, drop the heavy attack, a beautiful crit, and yeah, this is looking like it's gonna end very, very soon. Get the dex on that final hit, play it like as safe as possible, because I am not trying to like mess up this solo when I am so far deep into this fight. He's like at what, 6%, 5%. It's looking very good for us. I just cannot mess up in these final stages of the fight. Here he's about to drop the SP2 or something, but I'm like, you know what, let's just go in. He's at 1%. One more special attack should do it, and the power sting finishes off the fight, which is beautiful. And that was a 7-minute fight, and power sting was like 20% damage. So yeah, very good stuff from Sentry there, dealing with one of the toughest Necropolis fights for any champion. That is really, really good stuff there. And yeah, now we have this Wiccan fight. I showed this in the last video, but I want to show you like what the time difference is. So for reference, the time for the first Wiccan solo was 4 minutes and 57 seconds. Very good time. Like that's pretty good, right? But let's see what it's like now with the power stings added, and it might surprise you. It might like really, really shock you, but it's very good. The fight time is a very, very nice upgrade for sure. Here we go in, drop the heavy attack after the stun into the relic, into the heavy attack one more time. A very fun chain combo to do for sure. Now I go back in, drop the heavy attack again, and yeah, now we're like ramped up somewhat, but we want to get to the exhaustion phase, build those up, and then we'll be like fully ramped up. So let's just get that done real quick, go in, drop some combos, and yeah, the ramp up is pretty much complete after this next SP1, and then I get hit, because of course I do, man. I can't have one video that just goes perfect, because yeah, I always get hit in the like most random places. Like that right there, that shouldn't have happened, obviously, but here I drop the heavy attack into the SP1, and the ramp up is complete. So now we're just doing our full damage output from here on out, and it's very good damage. 52,000 mediums, man. That's Sentry for you. That evade is very annoying as well, but that's okay. Here he drops the SP1, And as you can see, the power sting damage wasn't as good there because I did a heavy attack first, and the heavy attack in this phase has no attack bonus. But once he drops the SP1, when I end with like a light attack in that phase, the damage output is much better. So yeah, here Wiccan drops the SP1 and I get a very lucky refresh if I'm being completely honest, but now I'm dropping 83,000 heavy attacks, man. That is very good. And now I can just parry heavy since like the neutralize doesn't matter since I am fully ramped up. And the power sting damage is looking crazy good in this fight, especially with that class advantage. And yeah, 73,000 beautiful heavy attack crits. Here he drops the SP1 again. I hope he's not doing it for some reason, but maybe after here, no, still nothing. There he finally drops it. It's pretty good power sting damage. And yeah, we go for the relic into the heavy attack one more time. Just not critting there, unfortunately, but the power sting does make up for that for sure. Just trying to get some more crits, man. Please, no crits. This fight could have been a whole lot faster if I just, you know, had that A-gun synergy, which increases my crit rating. But that's for next time, because yeah, like that, the realization that I have to make that video, because like that's so important as well, man. Like plus 1,000 crit rate and crit damage rating, absolutely massive. But yeah, even non-crits, they are still very good, and like the power sting damage does make up for it, so we are just absolutely chilling. But those 70,000 crits are definitely welcome. Like those 73,000 crits plus the 57,000 energy damage as well. That's so much damage on a single heavy attack hit. And here we drop the heavy attack again, go for the relic, and yeah, this matchup is very close to just being over. And that was just like a great showcase of his raw damage output plus the power stings, just completely like destroying this Wiccan fight. And yeah, one more heavy attack should do it, and there we go. 457 to 329. That is such a massive like difference in time, and that should show you just how powerful the synergy is. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Sentry and the synergy, and let's just keep the momentum going. And yeah, that's about it for me.